Hey, what's up? This is MJ. I usually do videos about cars, but today I'm going to do a video about how to get rid of painted textured ceilings, aka popcorn ceilings. So if you like cars, then please consider subscribing to my channel. That will make me very, very happy. If you don't like cars, then let's make the most of the few minutes we'll spend together. When you leave, I won't be hurt at all. Alright, let's get to the point. There are two main types of textured ceilings, painted and unpainted. The unpainted version is very easy to remove. When you spray it with water, as you can see in my other video, how to remove textured ceilings. But the painted textured ceiling is a major pain in the butt to remove. But it is possible, and I will show you how in this video. Just as a quick side note, some textured or popcorn ceilings applied in the 60s, 70s, and 80s may contain asbestos. In the United States, using asbestos for ceilings was banned, but it may still be present in older homes. And if you're outside of the United States, well, I have no idea what your laws are even about. So you may want to research this before you start this project. If you're concerned about asbestos, all you have to do is scrape a small part of the ceiling off and send it out to be tested. They sell asbestos test kits on Amazon and other stores. So MJ, did you have your ceiling tested for asbestos? No, I'm a real tough guy. I once did over 100 push-ups in a row, so I'm not scared of anything. But you may want to have yours tested because most people can't do 100 push-ups in a row like I can. So anyways, in my first video, I discovered you could simply spray the textured ceiling with water, wait about 30 minutes, and then scrape it off. But that technique doesn't work if the texture has been painted. If your textured ceiling is painted, even when you spray it with water, once you try and scrape it off, it'll just sit there laughing at you. You know, I wish I had 5 minutes alone with whoever invented textured ceilings. I'd bring a couple of my friends from Philly and we'd have a nice little chat. But moving on. There are 4 ways to get rid of textured ceilings, and today I'll show you the easiest 2 methods. But first, let's talk about a couple of the harder methods. Method number 1, you could simply cover the textured ceiling with 1/4-inch wood panels. Then cover the seams with 1x4 pre-primed pine boards. Then you're going to caulk the seams and paint the ceiling. You can also install can lights. That's what I did in my garage and it came out really nice. It's kind of hard and it takes forever, but it's worth it. Maybe I'll show you how to do this in a future video. If you want to see that video, put it in the comments, or else I'll just keep that information to myself. Method number 2, you could use a drywall sander to knock off the high spots of texture and then skim coat it. We used to do that at the contracting business I worked at. It does make a lot of dust, and that's the problem with that technique. And I don't have that sander right now anyway, and I don't feel like buying one. So I didn't do that one in my house because I'm super cheap. Now, option number 3, and this is the hardest one. You could rip out the drywall completely and put up all new drywall, but that is a major pain in the butt. It's much worse if there's insulation in the ceiling because when you rip the drywall out, it'll make a giant, dusty, disgusting mess. And you will need a mask. It will not be pretty. I've had to do that at work and it is not a fun day. Because the drywall is all itchy and you can't hardly breathe because you got your mask on. Oh, it's a pain in the butt. I was going to do that in my house anyway, but then I reconsidered because ain't nobody got time for that. So the last option that we're going to talk about today is to try and scrape off the texture and then skim coat it. And after that, you have to paint it. But before we get started today, you need to put down some plastic to protect your floors or carpet. Once we start scraping, it's going to get very, very messy. The first method is to do a technique suggested in the comments from my last video by a Mr. Rob Paints 100. So I'm going to call this the Rob Paints triple spray technique. Basically, he said to spray it with water, wait 30 or 40 minutes, spray it again, wait 30, 40 minutes, spray it again, and then scrape. So today we're going to try that. And we're also going to try an idea that I came up with. I'm going to call this the MJ stripping gel method. We are going to try using a paint remover product called Citrus Strip. Today I'm going to try both techniques at the same time to see which one works better. So here we go, 2 stripping techniques. Step 1, spray the water on with a garden sprayer or roll your paint remover on with a paint roller. Wait 30 minutes, then do it again. Spray the water on or roll your paint remover on and then wait 30 minutes again. Step 3, spray your water on, roll your paint remover on, And then, and this last step is critical, for the last 30 minutes while you're waiting, you have to spin around in a circle, or the texture will not come off. I repeat, spin around in a circle. So once your 30 minutes is up, you may feel slightly dizzy, but you'll be okay. Now go ahead and start scraping. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you got the high spots off, the skim coat will cover it, and no one will be able to tell what's underneath. Last night I put on one application here, like a nice thick application, and it is coming off even easier. All right. So it looks like woo. All right, so that's much better. It's much better, it looks like, to put on one real thick application and just leave it overnight. And then it'll come off super easy. That's cheaper than having to put on 3 applications in a row, because I don't know, I don't know how far this is gonna go. All right, looks like one application overnight is the best option. That's what it looks like to me. This stuff is the MVP, I'm telling you. So I tried rolling it on 3 times, 30 minutes in between each time, and it came off then. But if you go overnight, roll it on real thick overnight, and then come back the next day, it comes right off. This is the secret weapon for textured and popcorn ceilings that are painted. I'm telling you. I'm gonna roll it on with a thick roller next time. I'm gonna do this whole ceiling in one night. So here's a tip. If you went too deep and tore the drywall paper down to the brown part, just sand it down a little with a sanding block. Once you're done sanding, get some Red Kills paint and paint over that brown part. The Red Kills spray paint works too. You need to paint because when you skim coat, the drywall mud won't stick properly to the brown paper, so you have to paint that just before you skim coat it. So here's some info about skim coating. Skim coating is kind of hard. Drywall guys who are really good can just skim coat without the scraping part that we did, but in my opinion, and my friend whose construction company I worked at also feels this way, you should at least sand down the high spots or scrape off as much as possible before you skim coat. This way you don't have a ton of drywall mud on the ceiling. You'll just have a light layer. It's less likely to crack. I would rank myself as a mid-level drywall guy as far as my skills go. So I don't want to try and give you too many specific tips on skim coating since I'm not that good yet. I would recommend watching this guy's video, the Vancouver Carpenter. I don't know him, and he's not paying me to recommend this video, but I've seen his videos and I think his drywall techniques are pretty good. Like, that's all he does is drywall, so he's really good at it. So check out his videos if you want to try skim coating the ceiling yourself. So anyway, that's it. Our time together is up. Now go off into the world and destroy any textured or popcorn ceilings that you come in contact with, even if it's not in your house. Together, we can rid the world of these disgusting ceilings. We must stand firm. I will be over your shoulder encouraging you the whole time, like a guardian handyman angel. Anyways, if any questions come up, please put them in the comments and I'll try to answer every single one. I will try and answer your questions as soon as possible. I promise. So if I helped you in any way today, please like and share this video or I will have a heart attack and it will be all your fault. Thank you for tuning in and have a good one.